Pleasure to meet you, Dan. Manuel, 39 years old, Maryland, USA.
Maryland.
Yes.
Okay.
Question is regarding the emotional bank account that you mentioned.
Yes.
How do you keep your emotional bank account full? And,
With great difficulty.
it doesn't look
Now, the devil or Allah or somebody blessed me with self-esteem. If you've got high self-esteem, you have no trouble with your emotional bank account. None. Well, and since I grossly underestimated the self-esteem that people I thought had when I started coaching. I mean, the first 18 months I wasn't sick to my stomach, but I was just overwhelmed that so few people had self-esteem. And they asked the emotional bank account questions, and you should. But show me your 5 people you hang, you chill with. For most people in this room, they're losers. If they have no self-esteem either with you, you don't see Warren, Bill, when Steve was alive, Jobs, they don't go to, thank you, they don't go to sports bars and watch 20-year-old football games. They don't chill, they don't hang. It's better that you by yourself. I mean, I haven't, other than we're going to have dinner with 2 of the guys that I've known since I'm 10 years old in a few days in Los Angeles, all my meetings are business-orientated. And business-orientated where I have an opportunity to make money, not them make money. Because I'm selfish. And you should be more selfish. I used to be a single-digit golfer. And the doctors used to say, I'll play with anybody that can take off Wednesday to play golf. Had nothing to do with whether they were, it's all back to self-esteem and emotional bank account. Not that they were going to get better at golf, only that somebody could play golf Wednesdays, like doctors used to take off. I don't know if they take off Wednesdays anymore. What kind of reason is that? I'd rather play golf by myself. Most of the rounds of golf I played, as a single-digit player, I played by myself and my caddy. I didn't play with anybody. Because bad golf rubs off. And I was a great golfer. You know, you see a guy snap hook the fucking ball out of bounds enough times, I mean, all of a sudden you start rolling your hand over and you're stomping them out. So, but you're judged by who you hang around with. If I judge you kids by the people that you hang with, I wouldn't judge you very highly. And that goes for you adults that have kids. Most of your kids are losers. Jesus Christ. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the fucking truth. And your kids think you're a loser. That's pretty pathetic. It's worse than pathetic. I don't even know a word that describes it.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, sir. You can tell certain questions excite me more. I stand up. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Benia, Johan, 34, New York, United States.
You say New York?
New York, United States. As a former Maryland State Police, I want to thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question is, how can I get into a city like Baltimore City, fucked up city, and clean up the city and make a dinosaur shitload of money?
Well, I tell the kids, figure out a product or a service to change a billion lives and you'll be instantly a billionaire. Zuckerberg's the most recent example, I think. I don't think I know. It's cleaning up the city would be easy if the city really wanted to be cleaned up. They only want the city to be cleaned up if by some reason or for some reason they're impacted. There's probably 100 million apps now that are supposed to change the world. 6 or 8 or 20 of them have changed the world. But your odds are, 6 out of 100 million.
So the guys are like a Jerry Kushner. He just bought 6,000 apartments in Baltimore City with $1.1 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine. But I'm one of the last guys who's made a lot of money who has made zero money in property. The only property salary we had, $30 or $40 million, but it's our homes we lived in, not buildings. So I don't believe that story. Now, if the best case scenario about climate change is 3 meters or 10 feet rise in the water. You want to look at a map, 2/3 of the world's gone. Your buildings in, not maybe Baltimore on the water?
No, it's not.
Okay, Baltimore, 2/3 of the world's gone. Do you think they'd still be building these goddamn things in Florida and New York City if they knew, or there was a high probability that 2/3 of the planet's going to be gone? Half of Europe's gone. Netherlands is, but I felt this way for 25, 30 years about property. But that's his model. That's not my model.
Well, thanks,
okay?
sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. My name is Giuseppe from Italy. I am 32 years of age and I'm a carpenter and run a small construction company in Ireland. My question is here today for you is, when the big day comes that you announce that you're not going to teach the QLA program no more, have you or...
How did you know I was going to announce that today?
Have you or are you willing to or do you have a coach that you're...
No. I'm not
Okay.
handing the baton over to anybody.
No, I'm not asking the question.
Okay.
If you excuse me. But the question is, when it stopped, what are all the world going to do?
Well,
you're gone.
Thank you, but I don't care. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less.
And if there is a guy out there that is willing to teach the QLA program just the way you teach...
There's a lot of pretenders, but
there's nobody like
the only
you.
guy, Bruce Whipple knows more about QLA than probably anybody on the planet other than me. He may even know more than I do. And we have people that have models that are the soft end of QLA. Brian QLA Rose, Dan Locke. But they're teaching the soft end. Okay? And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's a soft end. And if you want to create, like, there's 2 or 3 guys in the audience, I'm not going to embarrass them, that have made 30, 40, 70 million in the last year. The last fucking year. They might consider that generational. I don't. You got to make... I say the benchmark is 250 million in the bank after taxes. Changes your life. Most of you would settle for a lot less than 250 million, I understand. But I'm not interested in what comes after me, and that's why I put so much on YouTube for free.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello, Mr. Pena. My name is Dominic Catania. I am a 40-year-old dentist from Tampa, Florida. My question is, I'm an oral surgeon. I do surgery all day from basically 8 o'clock in the morning.
So you can't have somebody die?
Hopefully not.
You'd have to fuck up, though, right? You'd have to fuck something up.
When they're being sedated, it gets a little...
All the docs blame it on the anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
I've never met a doctor, I'll be 75 in a few months, that had said, no, I killed the bastard. No, but I didn't kill the bastard. The anesthesiologist screwed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mostly what it's from. But,
okay.
The question is, so I'm in surgery and seeing patients 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, 5 days a week. What is your advice on how do we make these calls?
Okay, I'll tell you how, full disclosure, I'm his chairman. A vascular surgeon did it. He moved all his surgery Friday, Saturday, Sunday. His staff quit. He used to do Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 100% of his surgeries. And he did QLA Monday through Thursday. But I told Joe, they're all going to quit. And he says, I'm hoping. And they all did quit. Just imagine if you told your staff, we are now just operating Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, I actually get contracted by other offices, so I don't actually have my own staff, so
okay,
that may not be a possibility.
Well, then,
maybe,
just work more efficiently.
Yeah, got to work maybe 4 days a week instead of 5. In your opinion, are the margins, do you think, are higher in dental or maybe rolling up bedpans, or what is your opinion?
The margins are higher in bedpans.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, we go from diapers to diapers, guys. If you live long enough, you're going to be wearing a diaper. Because you lose control of your bodily functions. Everybody understand that? But the margins are big. Not everybody wants to wipe old people's asses. And there's death in bedpans. Every month, when I see 97% occupancy, 100-bed facility, well, we got to get 3 or 4 deaths this month. But I don't look at them. We just got to fill the beds up. If you don't like death and wiping shit off asses, don't get in the biggest margin. There's big margins there for a reason. Because nobody wants to wipe your old man's ass.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Doc.
My name is Leon Kuhle. I'm 19 years old and from Germany, and I'm doing QLA full-time. So I'm working on a roll-up in the US mobile home park sector, but I'm still living in Germany with my family. So would you recommend getting a job and doing QLA part-time, but living in another area?
Now, when you say with your family, you mean your mother and father?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you that are at home, get out. I mean, do whatever it takes. The kids that I've met over the last few years, 30 years old, and they live at home. 30 years old, they live at home with their wife. And the bedroom's next to their parents. Do they take turn fucking or something? What if your mother's a screamer? And you got the bedroom next to her, right? And she's telling your father, give it to me, Harry, give it to me. No, Hans, give it to me, Hans, give it. What kind of bullshit is that? Or maybe your wife and girlfriend's a screamer. And they're two screamers. Give it to me. Move out.
Hello, Mr. Pena. My name is Leon Quach, 27, and I'm from California. Before I ask my question, I want to say that I'm not a very religious person, but the only thing I believe in is Penism.
Thank you. Thank you.
A couple of industries that I'm looking into. One has, in the U.S., one has a total of 2,000 to 3,000 in the U.S. Is that considered fragmented enough?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think about the coffee industry?
Oh, coffee.
Yes, coffee.
It's tough to penetrate the market. Everybody, not everybody, but there's already a lot of people with a market share, so I wouldn't. When you said coffins, I said, now that's big margin business, coffins. No, okay. I'd skip coffee.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mr. Pena. My name is Guillaume, 35 years old, from Canada. I live in Vegas. So once you have 2, 3 LOIs and they're all good deals, do you focus on closing one deal at a time and then you move to the next one, or you can be working on 2, 3 deals?
Well, no, you push the LOIs as forward as you can. But remember, LOIs, 1, aren't binding. 2, are always subject to due diligence and finance. If your LOI doesn't say subject to due diligence and finance, you screwed up. Okay, but you can't do, unless you've got a big M&A team, which you don't in the beginning, you can't do due diligence on more than one business at a time. So you pick the lowest hanging fruit or the most viable of the 3 LOIs and do the due diligence. Now, in the smaller deals, your board will be able to do the due diligence. Your accountant, your lawyer, your industry experts on $1, $2 million deals, $1 or $2 million pound deals will be able to do the due diligence. So you're not going to be burning through delayed fees with your big accountants and big lawyers. Above $2 million, and the reason why you want the big accountant firms and the big law firms, if something goes wrong, or what should I say, when something goes wrong, you've got somebody to sue that's got big malpractice insurance. If you do the due diligence by yourself, who are you going to sue? Yourself? For fucking it up? Now, I get letters from the big accounting firms. Why are you telling people to sue us because we got big malpractice policies? Because you can't even get the words out right. I believe with all my heart that that's engagement in self-sabotaging activity on purpose. So push them along, but once you start the actual due diligence, that means feet on the ground, boots on the ground, whatever the metaphor you want to use, checking the books, being on, talking to the staff, talking to the employees, but you can't push all 3 unless you have a big M&A team, and I don't think anybody in this room's got a big M&A team. Mergers and acquisition team.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.